Good morning, Bitcoin. Today is Tuesday, August 29th, 2017. My name is Thomas Hunt, and here's what's happening today in Bitcoin. The price of Bitcoin was up 5.5% in the last 24 hours, with a last of 45.57, a high of 45.57, and a low of 42.99. The SEC tweets, investors, beware of scams involving initial coin offering related claims. Indeed. The SEC even went so far as to codify their claims in an article. The article explains that you should be worried about public companies that suddenly say they're doing an ICO, which causes their stock to explode. This, of course, relates back to the recent case on August 24th, just 5 days ago, when the SEC halted trading in First Bitcoin Capital after it gained 6,000% in 2017. What the SEC says is beware of pumps and dumps. Beware of technical claims that seem too good to be true. Beware. And if you'd like to learn more about the SEC, we've got a Bitcoin legal panel tonight in San Francisco. I'll be hosting it for the Bitcoin Meetup. We're already oversubscribed with 429 people going for a space that holds around 150. Even if half the people come, which is a usual result for a meetup, that'd still be 215 people. That means we're going to turn away at least 50 people. We'll be joined by Sarah Hody, a lawyer, used to be with Coinbase. Also, Ruben, now at Coinbase, and Lindsay Lin of Stellar. Thanks so much to these exciting legal professionals who will have a panel hosted by me. So I'm going to think of things to ask them later. The Bitcoin price just set a new all-time high above 4,700. Nice work, Coinbase, with the rocket imagery. I love the space imagery when we go higher. And as you know, all-time high. Is it time to own gold or Bitcoin? This article originally says, is it time to own Bitcoin? But they keep changing the headlines as they adjust their SEC, search engine optimization, or whatever, SEO. Yes, it is time. It's time to own Bitcoin. Russian regulator. Bitcoin should be limited to qualified investors. Oh, I think that's going to work out. He says Bitcoin's great and everyone should own it, but only through the stock market, only through control, which seems the opposite of what he says down below when he says, for the first time in 70 years, the global financial system has a chance to escape the hegemony of the US. I think that's a good thing. Segregated witness, slow rollout. Why Bitcoin's capacity hasn't seen a sudden boost? Because proper testing, engineering, good work by the core team. As Gregory Maxwell notes, we can't just roll out SegWit. We need to roll out SegWit, test SegWit, and then roll it out to the users. Things happen slower, but when you're dealing with an airplane that's flying, you have to be very careful when you're fixing the engines. Why Motherboard is capitalizing Bitcoin again. A bit of an inside baseball article here, but Motherboard has written several paragraphs about how in 2011 and 2012, they chose that they would put Bitcoin in lowercase and they let their authors decide. And they were all wimbly-bimbly if it was going to be a real thing and a currency. But now cryptocurrencies are a real thing. So they're going to capitalize Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Monero. This is a sign of the times. Bitcoin will always be capitalized. I have always capitalized Bitcoin. We're also joined by Jimmy Song for a check of the current Bitcoin scaling. How's it going, Jimmy?
Well, happy all-time high to everybody. It's always nice when that's happening. Yeah, so a couple of things. Bitcoin Cash is actually still less profitable to mine than Bitcoin, yet there are a lot of miners mining Bitcoin Cash. They're getting blocks every 10 minutes or so, and maybe even a little less than that. And so that brings up the question, why are they mining at a loss, especially in opportunity cost relative to Bitcoin? So I do have an article that I'm going to release on CoinDesk, but basically I have some speculation on why that might be. One might be these are people that are trying to protect their Bitcoin Cash investment, and they want steady blocks so that the price doesn't tank. Another might be that they are getting some sort of from other people. So there might be OTC buyers that are buying at a higher cost than what Bitcoin Cash is trading for, but they're demanding freshly minted coins so that only miners can provide it. And finally, yeah, it might just be sort of speculation on their part that Bitcoin Cash is going to go higher, or they know something or something like that. But yeah, it's a situation worth watching because we really don't know why they're mining at a loss, and most people don't do something like that without a good reason. So it will be interesting to find out exactly. Though who knows? We might never find out. But that's currently what's happening. That's my report.
All right, we'd just like to ask everybody to give us a thumbs up and a share. If it's your first time here, please subscribe down below. We've got 794 viewers. That's really good for a Tuesday morning. I think everybody's excited about the price of Bitcoin. And we're also joined by Tone Vase with a check of the current markets. How's it going, Tone?
Hey guys, it's going good. I mean, I'll throw one more reason for Jimmy's list. A little, too conspiratorial for my taste, but you can't like ignore it. In that there is, government-sponsored money coming in order to disrupt the system, right? I mean, it's a little too conspiratorial without evidence, but it's not something. But it's something to keep in mind as a possibility. All right. So let's talk about the price of Bitcoin. Some people may be surprised. Clearly, all the people that just got liquidated in short squeezes left and right, they are probably surprised. It's not a surprise on my end. It's not a surprise in any videos that you guys have been watching on the World Crypto Network, because I have been saying ever since 2,850 or so that we are looking at a multi-week run in Bitcoin, and I was looking for 6 weeks, 7 weeks of upside, and then it became 6 weeks of upside, and we've been going down from there. So right now we are on week 7 of this bull run, and I am looking for 2 more positive weeks, though that last one could be a little bit, a bit of a crapshoot. But there's nothing, looking at this chart, I mean, it does not look like a bubble to me. And this doesn't look like all that impressive of a candle. I mean, the range of last week's candle was from a low of 3,600 to a high of 4,450. So we're talking about an $850 range of the last week's candle. And then if you look at this candle with the number 4 on top of it, the range of that candle was from a low of 3,200 to a high of 4,200, I'm estimating here. So we're talking about a $1,000 range on that candle. So our current candle only has about a $300 range. So it's not that big a deal yet. Today is also only Tuesday. We have no idea where this will end. It's hard for me to call. I mean, like this run up could potentially end in a week or two. But anything can still happen. Right now, I remain fully bullish on the weekly time frame. The 2x stuff, we'll deal with it very soon. But for now, everything is bullish. The bird's eye view has just made a new clear high. Now, at this point, we need to see where this next high ends, because if it ends sometime before 5,000 and the price starts to reverse, we can then start talking about divergences and potentially, a big drop. And if there is a big drop in the price of Bitcoin, I will end up blaming 2x. I mean, that's just the only logical reason for the drop. Now, if the 2x signers start dropping like flies, and miners start to walk away from their signatures, the price of Bitcoin can run to pretty much, for a while, probably hit $10,000. So a lot on this run will depend on 2x support. And we'll be talking about that throughout the next month or two. That's going to be the biggest topic of conversation. Here's the daily chart. And I've been saying the moment you break 4,400 and close above it, and the closer we were getting to 4,400, I mean, the more violent the break was going to be. If we were doing this video, let's say 3 or 4 hours ago, and we were still under 4,400, that's exactly what I would have said. I mean, we're imminent on this break. This was the candle I was looking for right here when we went live for like 2 hours, and we didn't hit all-time highs. We went live a little prematurely. But the breakout was coming. I've been talking about it for a week. And here it is. and no idea where it's going to end. But on a daily chart, just like the weekly chart, see, the weekly chart is on a 7, and the daily chart is also on a 7. So we're looking at about 2 more days of upside. With that last day, you have to wait for that day to see what kind of a candle it is, to see if it's actually a top. But I remain bullish. Here's the 1-hour chart. If you were trading these numerical numbers, and I know at least one person was because he immediately emailed me, the person went long right here on this 2 candle based on this indicator, and he was very, very happy with the results. You can also see a 9 telling you that the bearish momentum was coming to an end on the hourly chart. You see a 9 here in the opposite direction, telling you that momentum to the upside was going to start to take a break, and it did for about a day and a half. And now we're busting back out. I have been looking at the 4-hour chart. The 4-hour chart has been looking very good. If you did happen to use this indicator on the 4-hour chart, and few people are because not very many people are familiar with it, and you can go to my videos on my channel for more information. There was a buy indication right here, and again, you did well about a day later. So I remain bullish. Right now, I'm bullish on all time frames. This might have been the high for the week, but there's absolutely no indication of it yet. One other point of note on the scaling side, you can see for right here which miners want bigger blocks and which miners don't. You can see that BTC China, which I've been critical of because they are flipping back and forth between Bcash and Bitcoin, they've also mined empty blocks, but at least they do mine blocks greater than 1 megabyte on the Bitcoin side of the chain, and they're mining segregated witness transactions. I have not yet seen a single block by Antpool greater than 1 megabyte in size. And so you can kind of tell. Same thing with VIA BTC. So the biggest champions of bigger blocks are refusing to mine bigger blocks on Bitcoin, while others like BitClub have, and certainly Slushpool has. And I do mine with Slushpool. I actually respect Slushpool. So that's just one note, and maybe throw up. Well, actually, I don't care about Bcash. And here is the profitability and inflation. We'll see. We'll see what happens with this Bcash stuff. I really don't think it's. Mempool's okay. A little high with 13 megabytes, but only 7,000 transactions. Not all that much. All right, guys, back to you, Thomas.
All right, thanks for that report, Tone. We've also seen more and more Twitter handles with no 2x, and we're starting to see our first no 2x memes, like this one right here. We don't need no 2x hard fork. SegWit increases the size of blocks. And I think we're going to see more and more of these, even just basic memes, people putting words on things. We just need to reach out and say, as a community, we don't want the 2x hard fork. We'd prefer even just waiting a year, waiting 6 months. We want the core developers to agree. And right now, the core developers agree that they don't want the 2x hard fork. I'm back in Sacramento today. It's 105 degrees here. I'm going to travel to San Francisco today, where it's probably around 75 degrees. And I'm going to do the Bitcoin meetup tonight. We're going to live stream that right here on the World Crypto Network. Be sure to subscribe so you can watch that below. And I'm getting ready to pack for Europe. I'm thinking about buying a really fancy audio recorder with 2 microphone inputs and 2 microphones so I can interview everyone that I meet in Europe. If you'd like to donate, that recorder is going to be around $250. So any help towards that recorder would be greatly appreciated. Really excited about the Europe trip. I'm going to go to the Breaking Bitcoin convention, and then I'm going to go to Prague and some other places. But we're running out of time. Thanks so much for everybody.
Oh, one more thing. I have a show later. I have a show later today with Eric Lombroso off chain. So that should be in about 8 hours, a little less than 8 hours, 7.5 hours. So please look forward to that. And I'll go on Twitter and ask for any questions that you might have for Eric.
All right, great. Tuesday night programming notes on the World Crypto Network. Good stuff. And we'll be back in about 24 hours with another one of these because we do this every day. And until next time, bye-bye.